In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was lifeless, shapeless, dark, and the Spirit of God was moving all around that vast emptiness. God said, "Let there be light." Suddenly, light shone all across the universe. God said, "This is good." He then divided the light from the darkness. He looked at the light, said, "I call you day." He turned to the darkness, "I call you night." This was the first day of the creation. On the second day, God said, "Let the water that cover the earth divide." With this, the water that covered the earth divide. Some went up while the rest stayed down. God looked at the water above. He didn't look at the water below. And then he looked at the space that was between the two and said, "I call you sky." On the third day, God concentrated on the water that was below the sky. He said, "Gather together into rivers, lakes, and sea, and let the dry land appear." With this, mountains start to rise up, making valleys, causing the water to gather into rivers, lakes, and sea. God said, "This is good." He then turned to the dry land and said, "I command you to bring forth vegetation. Let there be grass, herb, flower, trees, and plants." With this, herbs start to grow, flower with beautiful dress start to grow. Trees went high and high and high, but some of them stay low to the ground. All have their own seed so they can reproduce, and some of the trees had their own fruit that was good for food. On the fourth day, God said, "Let it be two lights, a greater light for the day and a lesser light for the night. And let there be a sign to mark the day, the month, and the year." With this, the sun appeared during the day to warm up the earth and let the plant grow. The moon and the star came at night with splendor and brilliance. God said, "This is good." On the fifth day, God said, "Let the sky be filled with birds, and the water filled with fish and sea creature." As soon as he said this, birds appeared in the sky, flying in beautiful patterns. There were birds of different color, different shape. Some will stay almost to the ground while others will fly so high. The water got filled with fish and sea creature, all different size, all different kind. God said, "This is good." And then he commanded them to reproduce, to fill up the sky and fill up the water. On the sixth day, God said, "Let's make animals to fill up the earth." And with that, animals appear. All kind of animals. Some wild one and some that can be tamed. God said, "This is good." And then he said, "Let us make man at our image." So God made a man and a woman and said, "Multiply, fill up the earth, have kids." God looked at everything he had done and said, This is very, very good. On the seventh day, God said, I will make it special. I will make it a blessing day, a day of rest. And he made the seventh day. So this is the story of the first week of creation.